friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Carly and today we are going to talk about the books that I read in January. So to kick off the new year, I started with Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn, which is the sequel to Better Than the Movies. I rated this book 5 stars. I was so excited to read it. It was incredible, as expected, because I really enjoyed Better Than the Movies. Like Better Than the Movies, Nothing Like the Movies follows Wes and Liz and their love story. However, they are no longer in high school. They are at college now at UCLA. So far, I really enjoy Lynn Painter's writing. I think she is hilarious and she writes incredible banter. However, I really enjoyed this book because I feel like we got a more in-depth look into Wes's character and learned more about his past. Honestly, I could read about Wes and Liz forever. If Lynn Painter wants to write a book about Wes and Liz after they graduate and are in real adult life, I would eat that up. Incredible book, I definitely recommend. Next up, I read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, but I have to be honest, I actually did not finish this book. This was my book club's pick for last month, so I did not actually pick it out for myself. I don't know exactly what this is labeled. I think it is self-help or women's lit, but it is about Glennon Doyle and she is telling stories about her life. There are definitely some stories that I resonate with and really enjoyed. However, by 3/4 of the book, it definitely gets a little repetitive and a little, for lack of better words, I found it a little annoying. But since I did resonate with some of the stories in Untamed, I gave it 2.5 stars. Did not finish though, so do with that what you will. Now, I'm a little late to the game, but I had to read Ashley Poston's latest release, a novel love story, and I rated this 3.5 stars. Like Ashley's other books, it is a romance with magical realism. We have Eileen, who is a litter professor who quite literally gets stuck in her favorite book series. Honestly though, this was my least favorite by Ashley Poston. Her other 2 books, The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip, are on my all-time favorite book list. They are incredible, so this one kind of fell flat for me. Still really good and still had tons of highlights and great quotes in a novel love story, but just wasn't my favorite. I actually recorded a vlog of me reading Onyx by Rebecca Yarros. This book came out on January 21st and it was highly anticipated. I love the Fourth Wing series and the world that Rebecca Yarros has created. Kind of like a novel love story, this is my least favorite book in the Fourth Wing series, but I still really did enjoy it. Now, I'm gonna try and do this without giving spoilers because I know some people are still reading it. Like always, I really enjoyed Xaden and Violet's love story. I also really enjoyed them exploring the different isles. The isles kind of reminded me of the different courts and of the court in Thorns and Roses. I also think Rebecca went more in depth on the secondary characters in Onyx Storm, and I really enjoyed that. We got to learn more about Garrick and Riddick and Arctic. Arctic, is that how you say his name? I don't know. Moving on, those were the physical books that I read this month, but I also read a lot of great books on my Kindle. So let's get into those now as well. First up, I borrowed The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes on Libby, and I really enjoyed that book. I rated The Naturals 5 stars because I thought it was such an original and interesting storyline. I'm gonna do a really bad job at describing it right now, but it is about this group of teenagers who have natural talents like reading people or telling if people are lying, and then the FBI recruit them to solve cold cases. I've just literally never heard of another book like that, and I thought it was really cool. It was also really fast paced. I am a little nervous to admit this next one because it kind of has a cult following, but Wild Love by Elsie Silver, I gave it 2.5 stars. I have never read a cowboy romance before, so I was really excited to try it. However, I don't think it's for me. Cowboys don't really do it for me. I was more into the father-daughter storyline between him and Cora than I was more into the romance. It was a fine read, wasn't my favorite. However, I'm definitely going to give Elsie Silver another try. I have heard great things about her. So maybe just the series isn't for me and I should give her other series a try. I think she has a hockey romance too. I'm going to look into that. Now in January, I was also really lucky to read an arc by Kristin B. Cole. The Scientist by Kristin B. Cole is now up on Amazon. I think currently it's just ebook, but eventually it's going to be physical as well, ? I gave The Scientist 3 stars. Like Wild Love, I found myself more interested in the mother-daughter storyline than I was the romance. Although it was a slow burn, and I don't typically like slow burns, I did really enjoy this novel because it had me laughing out loud the whole time. Kristin B. Cole did a great job of banter between the characters and also the secondary characters. I'm looking forward to seeing what she writes next. Lastly, I read a short story by Fredrik Backman, The Answer is No. It was an Amazon First Read of the month, and I'm glad I picked it because this was another great read. I gave it 4 stars because it is a short story, but I wish it was a book because it was so good. It's about this character who's in his early 30s and he's done a great job of becoming a recluse. He really just enjoys being inside and being an introvert and not talking to anyone. And then one day his neighbors come knocking on his door about this frying pan. And this wild story about the frying pan continues, which is hilarious, and I definitely suggest reading it. To wrap up this video, I want to talk. That was very like New York. To wrap up this video, I want to talk about my February TBR quickly. I am doing a great job on my book buying ban. I have been borrowing books from the library or family members. I am still very much avoiding Barnes & Noble. So some books that I am planning to read next month include Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Currently reading Don't Let Her Stay by Nicola Sanders. I'm also going to read Betting on You by Lynn Painter, and for book club, they picked A God of the Woods. So I am looking forward to reading those books, and I will report back next month how they are. Thank you so much for watching this monthly wrap up. I hope that you enjoyed hearing my thoughts and maybe got some book recommendations out of it. If you have read any of these books or any of the books that I'm reading next month, please let me know in the comments below. Have a great week and happy reading, friends.